Hey guys, this is Hero from DifferenceInSkill bringing you guys a video. I know, what the hell is that, a video from Hero? Yeah, school's been keeping me busy, really busy. So, yeah, finally getting this video because I finally finished this deck. It's going to be an Angel Feather deck. I know why I put his up, but some people for some reason weren't satisfied with that. So, I'll put mine up. I just finished it today. Got the last cards that I needed in today. So right now, Angel Feather, State of Angel Feather, I think they're doing pretty well. And their ability to toolbox with their deck damage zone, in order to be able to get quality cards instead of the quantity of cards. They focus on the quality of cards in their hand, and at the same time powering up the rear guards and Vanguard and Shamsiel, the Pegasi, I know for you grammar Nazis, and Phoenix Flame Calamity guy thing. So yeah, those guys, they power up every time you put a card into your damage zone, and so there's a lot of effects in here that do that, so you're able to control what's in your hand, and while at the same time powering up your field, so it's a pretty powerful combo. You'll always have guard in your hand that you need, while at the same time forcing more guard out of your opponent's hand. So that's a pretty good trade-off. So I'm going to start with the starting Vanguard. We have Hope Chalterial. I was debating between him or her, I can't even tell, or Thermometer Angel. Thermometer Angel, I'll get it. Hold on. Thermometer Angel is the 4K, the clone of Counterblast 1 put into your soul, and then it's grade 3. Turiel, on the other hand, is 5K, but it's a straight up minus because you Counterblast 1, put in your soul, and then you can damage swap a card. You can choose a card from your damage zone, put it in your hand, and put a card from your hand into your damage zone. So they're both decent. Thermometer Angel, the reason why I took her out is because she's 4K. And even though she may help me not get grade stuck, Hope Chalterial kind of does the same thing if I need it to. If I need a grade 3, and there's a grade 3 in my damage zone, then I can use him, her, whatever, and be able to get that grade 3 to my hand, or grade 2 or whatever, right? Thermometer Angel does break you even. Hope Chalterial, guaranteed -1, but at the same time, once again, like I said before, the whole winning image of the deck is being able to quality control of your hand, while at the same time being able to power up your field. So Hope Chalterial does that a lot, obviously a lot better than Thermometer Angel does. So out goes Thermometer Angel, and in comes Hope Chalterial. So she is my starting Vanguard. Can seriously somebody tell me whether it's a guy or a girl? I can't. I'm leaning towards girl. Oh no, I'm pretty sure it's a girl now because they have. Wait, does she? Does she have boobs? I think so. I'm gonna go with girl. Okay, Hope Chalterial. She is my starting Vanguard. So yeah. And now we move on to the trigger lineup. Pretty standard trigger lineup because there's nothing else we can do. 4 draw, 4 heal, and 8 crit. Now, a new draw trigger has been announced for Angel Feather coming out in set 9. It's 4K, I believe. I think it's 4K. Draw trigger. Its ability is if it's in the damage zone, you can flip it face down, and your Vanguard can gain 3K power. That's pretty good. Draw triggers in Angel Feather are a lot more important than draw triggers in other clans. The reason being is that usually when you get a draw trigger, you're stuck with this 5K shield in your hand, and you're like, oh well, I draw another 5K shield. It's the same thing as giving him a 10K if I just got something else, right? If the card you drew was a 5K, then you got a total of 10K in your hand. But the beauty about Angel Feather is that you're able to swap these 5Ks into your damage zone and take a 10K out. So it's like you got a draw trigger, you drew an extra card, and you're still able to switch this for a 10K shield. So you'll actually have a 10K shield plus the card you drew in your hand, which is really good. So draw triggers actually play a much bigger role in this deck than in other regular decks. So to have another draw trigger, not only does it allow us to play 6 draw 6 crit, which obviously you'd be like, well, why don't you just play 8 draw? Well, because 8 draw, then we only have 4 crits, and crits are kind of good too, so I want to keep those. So I'll probably be running 4 Critical Angels, 2 Rocket Dash Unicorns, and then I'll be playing 2 of these and 4 of the new draw triggers. So I'll be playing 6 draw, 6 crit. Once that new crit does come out in English, which won't be for a while, to be honest, it'll be until like maybe next May or June would be my estimate. But it's really, really good because not only does it give you an extra card to your hand, and then you can swap it for a 10k shield. It'll actually reward you for putting it into the damage zone because you can flip it face down, and then your Vanguard can gain 3k power. So that's pretty powerful. You allow your Vanguard to be able to swing for high amounts, and forcing your opponent to guard, and at the same time powering up your field. So once again, that's the whole thing about Angel Feather, and they're starting to become really, really good at it. Grade 1 lineup, I have 4 Battle Cupid No CL. Some people may run 3, some people run 2, and be like, why do you run it at all? Battle Cupid No CL is a 7k guard in essence. When you have Shamsiel or Phoenix Calamity Flame in your Vanguard zone, or even as rear guards, if your opponent attacks you for 15 or 16k, an attack that would regularly require 10k shield to guard because your Vanguard is 10k, you can just give him this. This is a 7k shield. Now, why is it a 7k shield? This card's effect is when it's put into the Guardian Circle, you can take a card from your hand, put it in the damage zone, and take a card back. Now, at the point where the effect resolves, your attack still hasn't resolved. Like, the battle hasn't finished yet. So when you make that swap, your Shamsiel or your Phoenix Calamity Flame will actually gain 2,000 power in the middle of the battle. So your opponent attacks your Vanguard for 16k. Your Vanguard's 10k right now. Your opponent attacks your Vanguard for 16k. You put this down, you switch a card, your Vanguard suddenly gains 2k power, plus the 5k shield from the Battle Cupid No CL, and you're at 17k. And that 16k attack won't go through, or 15k attack won't go through because you're a total of 17k. So Battle Cupid No CL can act as a 7k guard, which is really useful against 15k and 16k columns, messing up even your opponent's attack order because they'll be like, oh darn, now he only needs 5k to guard. So it's actually really, really useful. 4 of them because right now I'm playing 4. I might bump it down to 3 LC, but so far I haven't had any issues with 4. And yeah, better to have them than not. So these are 7k shields, which are really, really useful. Next we have 4 perfect guards. Some people run 3 because the Angel Feather's ability to be able to toolbox anytime and you can get back anytime. To be honest, at this point in time, there's so much stupid shit coming out, like cross rides, etc., that I would just rather have the 4 and not have to worry about not drawing into them or something. 4 is fine, and if I can use them more than 4 times per game, oh no, wait, that's impossible. Never mind. Yeah, if I can use all 4 per game, then so be it. I don't mind, and I'd rather have that be the case than not being able to draw them into it at all because I'd only run 3. So 4 perfect guards. Next, 2 Lancet Shooters. Lancet Shooter's a pretty useful card. It's 7k. Counterblast 1 gains 1k. I wish it gained 2k. It's really, really useful. That 1 Counterblast is basically free because your Shamsiel effect will actually be flipping over another damage. So you can Counterblast infinitely many times as you need in order to get the power that you need. If you don't have a pony, if you don't have a grade 1 Pegasus, you can put this in behind a Phoenix Calamity Flame, and then you can Counterblast 1, and then when you do your swap with Shamsiel, it'll become a 20k rogue. Because 12 plus 8 will be 20. So she's pretty decent backup for Pegasus in case you don't draw into him. Now, who's this Pegasus I'm talking about? I run 4,000 Ray Pegasus. Every time a card is put into your damage zone, you gain 2k power. It gains 2k power. So this includes your turn, so that's what Shamsiel is so good. If you guys don't know what Shamsiel is, I'll get to her in a second. But every time you put a card into your damage zone, this card will gain 2,000 power. So it's a grade 1, 7k, and it can boost for 9 or more. 9, 11, 13, etc. K. Creating these powerful columns. So you have him. Next, grade 2s. I have 3 Battle Cupid No CL. 3 I think is fine. I think 4 is too many, to be honest, because he's only 8k, and that 8k is a little and but at the same time you kind of want enough cards to be able to swap in order to boost your units every turn, including your Pegasuses and your Phoenixes, etc. So yeah, he's pretty decent, or she. No, that has to be a girl. Yeah, it's pretty useful to in order to be able to power up your field and be able to do quality control in your hand. Swap something from your damage zone into your hand and put something back. Pretty good. 3 of him, her, it. 4 core memory or Moros. This card is the Maiden of Libra Cologne for Angel Feather. If it hits, counterblast 2, draw 1. Now, usually 4 would be too many in any deck. However, with this deck, you're constantly unflipping damage because every time you put something in your damage zone and you take something back, you can actually take back a flipped over card. So when you counterblast, let's say for Lancet Shooter, let's say for this card, make sure that you counterblast stuff that you want to put into your hand. That way, when you damage swap with no CLs or Shamsiel, you're able to put something back into your damage zone face up, and then take that face down card and put it into your hand. So that basically gives you infinite counterblast. So with basically infinite counterblast, putting pressure into your opponent with these with core memory Armoros, especially if you're able to swap twice in a turn, will put your Pegasus up to 11k. The grade 1s, 1000 rate Pegasus, will put them up to 11k, and 9 plus 11 is 20k. So you'll be swinging down to 20k with if it hits counterblast, you draw 1 card, and that'll put a lot of pressure on your opponent, maybe forcing him into overguarding or even just giving you a free +1. So it's pretty decent, pretty good in this deck, pretty good. And I definitely want to run no less than 3, no less than 3. I run 4 simply because if I draw into her, then she's 90% of the time she's like her effect is live, and I'm able to get it off if I hit. I'll have 2 counterblast open. So yeah, 4 of her. And lastly, for the grade 2s, I have a 4 million rate Pegasus. It's a clone of the grade 1000 rate Pegasus, except he's a 9k grade 2, and every time a card is put into the damage zone, then he gains 2k power. So if you can think of the plays, if you have a Pegasus here, and then you have a 1000 rate Pegasus boosting it, then this thing will be bumped up to 11k, the other one will be bumped up to 9k, so creating a 20k column right off the bat, just by switching 1 card into your damage zone. So it's pretty good. So 4 of him. And grade 3s. Starting off, I do run 2 circular stock Curiel. I'm liking her in this deck for the reason being is that sometimes I kind of get good stuff into the damage zone, and for some reason or another I don't have any way at the moment to be able to get it to my hand. So like mostly good rear guards like the Pegasus is Sai or this guy. So I like writing Curiel and putting it into my field, and then taking a damage, just powering up the Pegasus or whatever that I called out for the turn. So this is a pretty neat combo that I can do, especially for my first turn grade 3 ride. She's not bad. Worst comes to worst, she's just simply fodder to either discard for a perfect guard or put into my damage zone. So it's actually not that big of a deal if you draw into her. So for that reason, I just run 2 of her. I think she's pretty neat to have at the moment. Maybe with future cards that come out, including the new Booster Set 9 stuff for Angel Feather, maybe I'll replace her. But for now, she's fine. Next, 3 Phoenix Calamity Flame. Every time a card is put into your damage zone, she gains 2k power. So she's 10k grade 3. So once again, if you can think of the combos, you have her, and you have 1000 Ray Pegasus. You damage swap once, Pegasus is up to 9, this is up to 12, creating a 21k column. You do it one more time, and you've boosted that column to 25k. So if you can swap twice in one turn, you're able to boost this thing up to 25k with a Pegasus behind it. So she's pretty good, definitely pretty good. She's not bad as a Vanguard either, because she also gets that plus 2k power in the Vanguard. So you can use Battle Cupid, no CLs, etc. in order to guard for that 7k. And if you take a crit or something, then your Vanguard, you just continue powering up. Eventually your opponent won't even be able to hit you because you'll be at like 19k. That happened to me one time. I took a critical and I got a trigger. And so that's plus 4k, 2k each card that was put into my damage zone, plus the 5k, and I was at a 19k Vanguard, and he couldn't do anything. So that's pretty funny. And lastly, the core of the deck, the card that runs the deck, the big boss of the deck, 3 Chief Nurse Shamsiel. Now, Chief Nurse Shamsiel, what she does, she's limit break 4. Whenever she attacks, whenever you declare an attack, so it's at the beginning of the attack phase. So it's kind of like at the same timing where Dudley Emperor's effect limit break would activate. You choose a card from your hand. you put it into your damage zone. If you have it if you're at 5 damage and you swap something in, you don't lose. Okay, I've had a PM about that, 3 PMs actually, asking me if for Angel Feather, if I have 5 damage and I put a card in my damage zone, do an effect, do I lose? No, you do not. The reason being is that the effect that you have using has not finished resolving. Therefore, once it's finished resolving, you take a card back from your damage zone, put it into your hand, putting you back at 5 damage, so you won't actually lose. So anyway, moving on. Limit break 4, you choose a card from your hand, put it in the damage zone, take a card back, and put it into your hand, and that's what she does. That's her limit break. So what's so good about it? Oh, well, she also gains 2,000 power for every time you put a damage zone card into your damage zone. So basically every turn, without any other effects, she's swinging for 12, plus maybe a counterblasted Lancer Shooter, or maybe a Pegasus behind her. Vanguard only. This is Vanguard Circle only. She'll be swinging for 21 or 20. So, you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty decent. Not only that, she'll be doing quality control on your hand as well. You know, getting rid of those cards that you don't need, trading in those draw triggers for 10k shields. And also as well, her abilities will also power up any Phoenix Calamity Flames or Pegasus that you have in the rearguard circle, which is basically the whole point of the deck. Powering up your rearguards while at the same time, you know, keeping control of your hand. So she does that, and she does that extremely well. So that's the deck. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what you do, comment, rate, subscribe. I also have a Beyond video of me playing this deck actually, and that I should put up soon. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is Hero from DifferenceInSkill. Sorry for the lack of videos lately. I've just been mad busy with school and stuff because university is hard. But yeah, I'll get through it. And then Christmas break, probably have a bunch more videos up, hopefully. And probably do more stuff with Chan and whatnot to be able to get content out for you guys. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is Hero from DifferenceInSkill. Have a good day.